Hey Conduit family, it's Pastor Cameron. I am in one of my favorite places in all the world, here in the sanctuary at 120 Delaware. Now, I'm sure by now that you have come to expect some kind of message from us about the recent healthcare crisis, we'll call it. Coronavirus all over the world, spreading really quickly. We do have some announcements to make, and we want to share those with you now in this format. I wanted you to see my face. I wanted you to hear my voice. I wanted you to understand the part of the decisions that were being made. And so if you would allow me for just the next few minutes to kind of just speak freely. I can't guarantee this is going to be super polished or all put together. I have some notes here that I want to follow. But I also just want you to hear me as we move forward. Yesterday, I spent a good part of my day spending time in conversation with the leadership team and the staff here at Conduit. And we have together unanimously decided that we are going to cancel Sunday services from right now, through the end of March. So that our next service that we will presumably have here on a Sunday morning at Conduit will be April 5th, which is Palm Sunday. Now this came for a couple different reasons. We made the decision for a couple different reasons. I am sure by now that you've heard Governor Cuomo's recommendations that venues such as ours limit their capacity to only 50% of their capacity. Now, if you've been to Conduit at all in the past, 6 to 9 months, you'll know that every nook and cranny of this building is 110% full on a Sunday morning. We don't really see any good, fair way to limit that capacity to 50% and still have an open, hospitable, worshiping environment on Sunday. And so in lieu of that, we have decided to cancel the service to keep everyone, safe and at a distance from those large crowds, as well as to abide by and be cooperative with the recommendations of those who are in leadership over us. Another reason is that, to be honest with you, I'm not an expert on healthcare, epidemics, or sicknesses. If you look at Facebook or any social media, you'll see that there are a lot of experts about this kind of stuff. But all joking aside, all kidding aside, we did take a good amount of time yesterday to talk to people who are relative experts in the field of healthcare. The general consensus is that if there is not something done across the board to flatten the curve of the spread of coronavirus, that it's very, very likely that the sickness will eventually overwhelm the healthcare system in the United States, similar to what it is doing in countries like Italy right now. Now, I don't know about you, but if it got to a point in the United States where the healthcare system was so overwhelmed that if a loved one of mine, a family member, a friend, one of you got sick, even outside of anything having to do with coronavirus, and the healthcare system was so overwhelmed because it had spread so rapidly that they weren't able to address those needs, I would ask myself, is there anything that I could have done beforehand to help flatten that curve, to help decrease the burden on the healthcare system, the healthcare workers, those who are going to be responsible for taking care of sick people? I want to care for those people as well. I want to understand the needs of that system as well. I want to keep the doors of the healthcare system open as wide as possible to those who truly need help. And if canceling our services for 3 weeks, if that helps to flatten the curve, then I think we should do it. And I think it's a sacrifice that we can all make. Now, I understand that there are many places, groups, gatherings, churches that are not making the same decision that we are. And that's okay. That's a decision that they and their leadership have made, and we support that. I also understand that there are many people, maybe even you, who don't agree with the decision to close or to cancel Sunday services for the next 3 weeks, and that's okay too. I don't want to make it an argument about who's wrong and about who's right. I don't want to make it an argument about if we're operating out of fear or if we're operating out of wisdom. I don't want to make it an argument about whether it's a real danger or whether it's just like the seasonal flu. I don't want to make it an argument at all. My hope and prayer is that, honestly, that in 3 weeks or 4 weeks or 5 weeks or 6 weeks, we look back at this and we say, well, we don't know if we really needed to close or not, but we did, and as a country, as a city, as a congregation, we're past the point of the most danger, and it's safe to meet again. So the questions now remain, well, what's going to happen in the meantime? What's going to happen in the next 3 weeks? We certainly aren't just going to shut the doors down and just be silent for 3 weeks. We still intend to do a few things to be in ministry to each other and to be in ministry to our community. We can share a few things with you now. We are endeavoring to offer messages in video format over the next 3 weeks. Some will be, I guess you'll call it, live streamed. Others may look a little bit more like this. But keep your eye on Facebook and our website over the next few days, and you'll see more information about how those video messages are going to come out. I guess you could call it online worship or online sermons. We're going to move in that direction here in the next few days. So there will be a continuation of our sermon series. Conduit Kids. I've been in extensive conversation with Amanda Dieter, the leader of our Conduit Kids ministry, and she has assured me that all lessons, all videos, all music videos, all take-home activities are going to be available for every family and for every kid at no expense to you. We will ensure that either those videos get put on Facebook or through our website, emailed directly to you. If there are paper or hard copies for activities, we'll make sure those all get mailed to you so that your kids also have an opportunity to continue to grow in their relationship with Jesus Christ. Even though our Sunday services are canceled, we're not really canceling anything else. The church office will remain open. Business will be as usual here during the week. We really encourage you to continue to meet in your small groups. Be smart, be safe. If you're sick, stay home. Don't go to your small group. But all in all, we're trying to eliminate the big gathering of people, but really encourage you to remain in smaller groups of gospel community, be praying for and with each other, learning from the word, learning in the word, being in gospel community together. The fourth thing is that we are encouraging you to continue to give. There are lots of ways that you can give at Conduit. If you have our app, it's really easy to give your tithes and offerings through our app. If you don't have our app but have internet access, you can go to our website and there is a tab on there to give. You can give very safely and very securely there as well. And of course, the building is going to be open all throughout the week. So you can mail your tithe or offerings to 120 Delaware Avenue, Jamestown, New York, 14701, or you can stop by here during the week and hand deliver it too. We really appreciate your continued financial support so that the ministries of the church can continue during this time. Now, there are several times where we have heard heard maybe the criticism that, well, hey, this is a response out of fear, and Christians, we don't have a spirit of fear. We are to be strong and of sober mind, and we are to be strong and courageous in the Lord. And we understand that that's maybe a common reaction. I want to assure you, I'm not afraid. Our leadership is not afraid. We don't feel like this is a decision that is based in fear at all. In fact, we don't feel that every decision that is made that maybe favors the side of caution, wisdom, or discernment is a decision that is necessarily based in fear. We do trust, even in the midst of situations like this, the goodness, the power, and the sovereignty of God in all that happens and all that we do. And at the same time, we also choose to exercise wisdom, to exercise prudence, to exercise care and discernment as we make decisions on what is best for everyone here, everyone in our city, and everyone in the world. And we don't believe that making a decision based on wisdom, prudence, care, discernment, and the best advice of those who are experts in the field, and trusting God and not fearing, are mutually exclusive to each other. We believe that you can do both at the same time. Similar to the way that when you walk out to your car in the morning to go to work, you get in and you put a seatbelt on. That's not a decision necessarily based in fear, but maybe it's based in wisdom, discernment, common sense for the situation that presents itself. So be encouraged. We're not afraid. Your leadership team is not afraid. The staff are not afraid. What I am hoping and what I am praying is that in the midst of this, we would be able to really incarnate and press into even further, unexpectedly maybe, one of our core values. The core value that says this counts as church, that we will embrace every creative method possible to reach every man, woman, and child with the gospel of Jesus Christ. I think this is going to be an excellent opportunity for us to push even further into environments where we're sharing the message of the gospel of Jesus Christ digitally with people, where we're pressing into how we can serve our community, how we can care for and serve others when something like this happens. I'm praying. I hope you will join me in prayer as well, that during these next 3 weeks, that we discover in a whole new way how our church, the church, this church, is not at all about this building. We all love this building. It's a great place. But an opportunity for us to incarnate the body of Christ, to be the hands and feet of Jesus, to be more about just the building, but to embrace innovative, creative, extraordinary ways to share the gospel message with every man, woman, and child in Jamestown and beyond is right before us. We have this opportunity. And so would you join me in that hope? Would you join me not in a spirit of criticism, not in a spirit of fear, not in a spirit of condemnation for everyone that makes a decision that's different than yours or has a different viewpoint, but just with an embracing attitude of taking an opportunity and saying, okay, how are we going to press into what God is going to do in these next few weeks? How are we going to press into an opportunity to share the gospel with more people across more platforms in more ways? That's my hope. That's my prayer. If you have any questions whatsoever, if you need any help, if you need any care, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. Like I said, we're not holding up in our houses. The church will be open. We're just not having Sunday services. You can email me, Cameron, at conduitministries.com. You can call the church office here at 294-3180, or contact any of the staff at their phone numbers or email addresses, or the leadership team, if you so choose. We want you to know that we are for you, that we believe that God is for you, and that God is in control. Conduit, you are loved. We love you. Have a great day.